Hey, it's Sarah with Loaves and Dishes, and in today's video, I am going to be showing you how to make these super delicious chocolate muffins. Before we get into the video, please be sure to subscribe. Okay, and also I'm trying something different. Instead of putting the recipe on screen, I'm going to put it in the caption of the video just because I think it'll be easier for you to read and to look at. So these are inspired by that Olympian who was obsessed with the chocolate muffins at the Olympics. I too became obsessed with the chocolate muffins, and these are super easy to make. So in my pot, I did some milk. I did a little bit of instant coffee, and then that's heating up on the stove. And once it gets warm, I added some butter and some chocolate chips and some cocoa powder to that. So, and all of those measurements will be linked in the caption, but you just want to warm it up until the butter melts, and then you want to melt the chocolate and everything, but that's it. And then in this bowl, I've got some flour and some baking powder. I just did that while the chocolate mixture was warming up. And so then once the chocolate mixture gets warm, you want to give it a good whisk, but you want it to cool down a little bit because we are going to use some eggs, and you don't want this chocolate mixture to then cook the eggs when you add it. So there it is. It was kind of dark, but it was very beautiful and lovely, and it smelled great. So now I'm adding two kinds of sugar. I'm adding brown sugar and white sugar. I'm using light brown sugar. I don't think I would recommend dark brown sugar for this. And then I'm also going to use oil, and then it has milk in the chocolate sauce. If you wanted these to be a little bit more moist, you could add some more oil to them. I think that would help hold on to some of the moistness, but I figured it was a muffin. It didn't need to be super wet, but these are kind of cakey, to be honest. They're little tiny chocolate cakes. I added some vanilla, and I added my 2 eggs, and I'm just giving that a really quick mix to break up the egg because my chocolate mixture was still warm. And then I'm just pouring in the chocolate sauce. That is beautiful. Now, if you wanted to, the real chocolate muffins that guy was eating, it was a chocolate muffin and then it had a chocolate ganache in the middle. If you wanted to, you could look up a recipe for a chocolate ganache, and then as soon as the muffins come out of the oven, you stick a knife in the middle, kind of create a little space, and then you squeeze in some of that chocolate ganache, and you could just put it in a Ziploc bag and cut the tip off. Or you could probably just spoon some in, if you made it runny enough. But that's how the real muffins were. I didn't want to make a ganache. This was Sunday morning. I was I'm just not going to make a ganache. That's too much for some chocolate muffins. So what I did instead was I put chocolate chips in the middle, and you'll see when I'm scooping the chocolate muffin mix into the tin, I put some chocolate chips in the middle. And it's not quite the same effect, but it does add some extra chocolate. Also, the chocolate chips that I used for the chocolate sauce were semi-sweet. The chocolate chips that I'm going to use to put on top are milk chocolate. Now, I realized when I was making these that I did not have any muffin liners. So I'm making some out of parchment paper. I just cut a little square, and then I cut 2 slits on each side of the square, and that helps it form into a circle, basically. That's kind of the fancy way of doing it. You could also just cut a square and shove it in there, and that would also work just fine. So I did that for a couple. It doesn't look great, but frankly, it works, and that's what matters. So, and the muffin liner is just to help keep it from touching the pan, so it doesn't matter. I'm doing a scoop in the middle of each. This is the bottom layer, and you just want to, especially if you're using muffin liners that you made, you just want to take your time with this to make sure you're not getting muffin mix everywhere, because some of these I did get muffin mix everywhere. So but these were really good. I took them to book club, and they all got eaten. I was I'm making chocolate muffins today. That's what you guys are getting from me for book club. And everybody loved them. So, and having a chocolate muffin, you could make these and then stick them in the freezer and thaw them out when you wanted one. So this is a really great way to meal prep some sweets and stuff. Okay, so now I've got the chocolate chips. These are just milk chocolate. I'm putting just a little pinch in the middle. It was 4 or 5 chocolate chips each, roughly. But yeah, this is a really great mix. You know, you can make these ahead, put them in a Ziploc bag once they've cooled off, stick them in the freezer, and then just take one out at a time. And let me know if you guys like this recipe, and if you want to see any more muffins, because, you know, making a muffin is pretty simple, and it's a great way to, like I said, meal prep. You could put these in the oven or in the freezer, and then bam, you got breakfast. But there's all kinds of muffins that we could make. We could do blueberry. I might have a recipe already for blueberry muffins. We could do zucchini, because zucchini is still pretty inexpensive. It's a good way to eat a vegetable. I've been trying to figure out how to eat more vegetables. Here I am making chocolate muffins. You know what? We could have put some zucchini in this chocolate muffin, and that probably would have been good. But anyways, I digress. But yeah, let me know what kinds of recipes you want to see. I would love to have that information. And now I am doing a little pinch of chocolate on top. And then these are going to go in the oven, and they're going to bake at, I think it's 350 or 375 for about 20 minutes. It doesn't take very long. So they'll be back in 20 minutes. And I did put a little pinch of salt on all of them, because I can't have a sweet without a little pinch of salt. But these were super delicious. There they are with a pinch of salt on top. If you want to see more recipes, be sure to check out loavesandishes.net. We have loads of recipes, and thanks for watching. Bye.